Hello, and thanks for coming to support the channel. Today we're going to go about facts about child abuse for Child Protect Children's Advocacy Center, Montgomery, Alabama. Welcome everyone for coming. Would you like starting off with a Bible verse? Matthew 18, verse 6. But whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea. In Matthew 18, verse 10, take heed that ye despise not one of these little ones, for I say unto you, that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven. Fathers, do not embitter your children, or they will become discouraged. We need to learn to do right, seek justice, defend the oppressed, take out the cause of the fatherless, plead the case of the widow. A lot of people tell us, just forget about it, just get over it. No, the Bible itself says, learn to do right, seek justice, defend the oppressed, take out the cause of the fatherless, plead the case of the widow. In the Copyright Disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Fair use, nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips and balance in favor of fair use. Hope everyone's doing good today. Amen. Good to see you. Hello, Randy Beck. Good to see you too. Hello there. Oh, it's good to see you too. Thank you so much for coming. Appreciate y'all. Oh, it's okay. I just now began, so it's fine. So let me do this as well with the childprotect.org, getinvolved.html. If you would like to make a donation on behalf of your corporation, please use our contact form or call 334-262-1220. Sorry. The mission statement of this Child Advocacy Center is the mission of Child Protect Children's Advocacy Center is to interview, counsel, and be an advocate for children when there are allegations of abuse. The website that it is childprotect.org. Hello, Randall. Good to see you. Yeah, I figured that's for you. Good to see you so much. Our bucket list, please meet my brother Randy Beck from Bible study that I do as well, that we do together, right? Thanks everyone for coming. I had seen this online, so I figured what I do is different advocacy centers or different websites on statistics at different times, because different websites have different things. But I think it's best to bring awareness and give credit where credit is due on these issues. Here, I'm going to have to mute my audio.
Child Protect is a children's advocacy center. We work with different agencies like law enforcement and DHR, Sheriff's Office to conduct interviews of children when there are allegations of abuse.
We cover Montgomery County. We see about 300 kids every year. 48% of that is child sexual abuse, but we also see severe physical abuse cases, witnesses to homicides, robberies, any sort of violent crimes. And what we do is to get them to tell their story one time. That helps to lessen their trauma, but it also helps in potential judicial process and potential trials.
After the forensic interviews are conducted, we offer counseling services to those children. We'll do play therapy to psychoeducate and help the children work through their trauma, learn coping skills, and body safety so that they don't carry that forward.
What we want mostly is just a lesson of trauma on the child. They've had something horrific happen. So we want to get the kid in for the forensic interview. And then we want to provide those services. We want to get them into counseling. We want to make sure that if they needed a medical, that got done. We want to strengthen the case and lessen the trauma.
Also, as an advocate, we try to make it as comfortable as an environment as possible for the child. Even though they might be going through something dark, when they pick out that stuffed animal, they light up, and it's the sweetest thing. Child Protect is a children's advocacy center. We work with different agencies like law enforcement and DHR, Sheriff's Office to conduct interviews.
Hear that okay? Now let me present it. Please give me a 1 if y'all heard it all right. This is supporting the victims of child abuse. The trauma of a child being sexually or physically abused is more than any child deserves. Child Protect exists to minimize that trauma and help rebuild young lives shattered by child abuse. Child Protect Children's Advocacy Center offers a non-threatening environment where a multidisciplinary team works together to minimize any further trauma during the justice and restoration process. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. One time, one place. Instead of having to be interviewed multiple times by different agencies and attorneys, child abuse victims are able to tell their story once, and the information is then shared among appropriate parties. This lessens the impact on the child abuse victim and family. As the process moves along, the child may receive counseling and other services in the same non threatening, nourishing environment. And right here is a tour inside of this Child Advocacy Center. I like that these chairs like that with a just I'm impressed. We can do it. Working Women's Home Association. This is another interview room. The other one's the teens, children's. In 2013, Child Protect received the Guide Star Exchange, demonstrating its commitment to transparency. Guide Star's Exchange's mission is to revolutionize philanthropy and nonprofit practice by providing information that advances transparency, enables users to make better decisions, and encourages charitable giving. Please share on your social networks to support child abuse victims. This is a mission right here of Child Protect Children's Advocacy Center is to interview, counsel, and be an advocate for children when there are allegations of abuse. Here are the phone numbers, and this is 935 South Perry Street, Montgomery, Alabama 3614. There's phone numbers, but you hear right here, I don't see a 2024. I hope they update this and they still hope and pray, right? So let's go to About Us. Child Protect was incorporated in November 1989 as the Children's Advocacy Center serving Montgomery County. Child Protect That's in Montgomery, Alabama, which is the capital of Alabama. Child Protect was incorporated in November 1989, like I said. Child Protect was established as a 501c3 nonprofit agency to assist the Department of Human Resources and law enforcement in their investigation of child sexual abuse and physical abuse. There's the different pictures right here, which we just got through seeing in a slideshow, minus the children. Through a donation from the Robert and Charlotte Lauder Foundation, Child Protect was able to purchase a permanent facility in June 2004 dedicated exclusively to helping child abuse victims throughout Montgomery and the River region. At the request of the Lauder family, the building was named the Buddy Van Morgan Child Protect Building in memory of Buddy Morgan, son of Vanna and Eddie Norrell, and brother of the executive director Jana Morgan Bailey. Buddy lost his battle with cancer in 2003, but is forever remembered for his love and commitment to children in the Montgomery, Alabama community. Dr. and Mrs. Mont Hiley III generously directed memorials to their son, Mont Hiley IV, to Child Protect after his tragic death in 2003. The children's play therapy room is named in Mott's memory by the many friends and family that remember him for his playful spirit and love of children. The Kiwanis Club of Montgomery contributed to the building fund, and the family waiting room is named in their honor. Other donors to the building were Alabama Power, the Daniel Jackson Foundation, and the Working Women's Home Association, who named the teen counseling room and the interview room. Child Protect is a charter member of the National Children's Alliance, a River Region United Way partner and part of the Alabama CACs. I'm not going to go over the people's names. Okay. Of course, it's got where you give. And there's also about us, our services, staff, board of director, junior board. It's got careers, events, April Child Abuse Prevention Month, Barrel of Blues, MDT training. They even had a swinging for kids golf tournament. And see what this press is about right here. Congratulations to Child Protect's Executive Director, Kristen Roy, for being presented as one of Girl Scouts of Southern Ladies, Alabama's leading ladies. Congratulations. Congratulations to Jean Drummond, Child Protect Executive Board Member, for being recognized as one of the MACOA, Montgomery Area Council on Aging, Seniors of Achievement for her lifetime of service and giving. Child Protect Executive Director Jana Bailey gives the commencement address to the Auburn University of Montgomery's graduating class in December 2022. Child Protect Citizen of the Year Philanthropy by Darlene Hutchinson, Bill, and Helen Herndon. Pictured, we're not going to go over the picture right there, but there's a will. They do have a therapy dog. See that cute little therapy dog right there, y'all? Look at that therapy dog. So precious and cute. But we might as well go over it since picture the back row staff members is Laura Teal, Tammy Blackman, junior board member Susanna Wasserman, staff members Christian Beard and Emily Hutchison, front row Willow, the therapy dog, staffer Tamara Martin, and executive director Jana Bailey. It's a tough subject to think about, but the trauma of abuse is even worse for a child to experience. Across central Alabama, children excuse me, suffer every day from both sexual and physical abuse at the hands of those they love and trust. Even after their crimes are reported, the young victims must face the painful process of telling their stories, learn to cope with the long term effects, and navigate the criminal justice process. The goal of the staff of Child Protect is to minimize the trauma a victim endures. Recognized as a 501c3 nonprofit organization, the agency does not charge for its services. Executive Director Jana Bailey points out that the agency is not duplicating any services offered by other agencies. At Child Protect, a specially trained forensic interviewer talks to the child to learn about the incidents. A video is created to reduce the number of officials and to whom the victim must repeat the awful events, thus reducing the agony created by retelling the incident time and again throughout the legal process. Which that's good, y'all. That is good. The evidence gathered during the forensic interview is then turned over to prosecutors. Going a step further, Child Protect also provides advocacy and support for the child and family throughout the criminal justice process. As a matter of fact, most Child Protect employees agree that its counseling service is one of the most integral aspects of the agency. Emily Hutchison, a forensic interviewer and counselor, points out that follow up counseling is extremely important to the whole process. Abuse affects children the rest of their lives. Children of abuse are more likely to offend themselves if they do not get help to heal. And she adds 80% of boys, 75% of girls, when there was no intervention, end up in very negative behavior. Tammy Blackman, family advocate and office manager, is a friendly face that greets the victims as they first walk through the doors, and she is there by her side throughout the process. She too stresses the importance of counseling, the ability the children have to get free counseling, the counseling they need, means that they are more likely to be productive citizens one day. Praise God. That's why having an agency like this within your own community is so important, continues Miss Blackman as she explains. They're in the process of opening satellite offices in Prattville and Watonka. Families are more than likely to come for the follow up they need if they have a center nearby. Employees of Child Protect answer calls 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And Bailey points out the calls involve girls and boys from every zip code. Abuse knows no boundaries, race, religion, or socioeconomic makeup. According to Christian Beard, forensic interviewer and counselor and employee for 3 years, abuse happens more than we realize. That makes Child Protect an invaluable resource for the community, but one you can also hope you never have to use. Alabama Congressman Bud Kramer has been a prosecutor and saw firsthand the traumatization of children having to repeatedly tell their stories. He recognized the need for a child advocacy center and in 1984 introduced the concept, and a year later, the first facility of its kind was established in Huntsville, Alabama. The next year, the Alabama legislature passed legislation designating the Huntsville location a pilot program. Federal grants helped fund the facility, and eventually a network of children's advocacy centers was created. As Alabama led the nation in the development of these programs, Mrs. Bailey, Miss Bailey, sorry, her husband was on Child Protect's founding board in 1989, and Jana joined as executive director in 2001. Really, I said it correctly, and Mrs. Bailey, since she's married, MS means she's not really married. Okay? In December, 4 years later, Child Protect was able to purchase the property adjacent to their building on South Perry. Future plans include a playground and more offices for multidisciplinary team members. Susanna Wasserman, Junior Board Vice President, sings the praises of Child Protect and its employees. These people are so loving. I could not imagine going through the kind of trauma these kids do and then having to talk to the police or lawyers. Instead, they're able to talk to people like Kristen and Jana, who live their lives for this agency and the children it represents. Miss Bailey admits to waking up and asking God, is this where I'm supposed to be? The answer is yes. Growing up herself with some domestic violence and child abuse, gives her a special empathy for its victims. She admits that the job is not always easy and that at times, often it's necessary to compartmentalize, but at the same time, she confesses that some incidents just haunt her as cases affect her differently. On the lowest day, when we question if we are really making a difference, that's when a child sends an email that says, I graduated from high school. Our family says they've never been treated so nicely. The other thing that drives me is the staff. They come in so selflessly, not knowing what they are going to face, whether at 8 a.m. or 2 a.m. inquiring, how can we serve? Often people question Miss Bailey about how she can do what she does. Miss Bailey asked, how can I not? Good answer, y'all, right? New Child Protect Facility honors fallen cop. The construction of Child Protect's new Ryan Ryder Annex building began Tuesday with the destruction of the building previously occupying the lot next door. What used to be a care ambulance clinic had in recent years become a haunt for vagrants and a parking lot for stolen cars, according to Child Protect Executive Director Jana Bailey. Already planning to expand, Child Protect purchased the property in December 2015. Now with demolition, completed Wednesday, the Child Advocacy Center is that much closer to expanding its space. Just having it down clears it up so much, Bailey said. It looks great. Development Director Laura Till and other employees stood outside Tuesday as a crane tore chunks of wood, roofing, and sheetrock from the former clinic. Till said the Ryan Ryder Annex is special because it would carry on the legacy of deceased former Montgomery police investigator Ryan Ryder. Ryder investigated child abuse and domestic abuse cases and was one of Child Protect's fiercest allies. He died in 2014 after saving his 12-year-old niece from a rip current and getting caught in it himself. He was an investigator with the MPD and he used to work our child abuse cases, so we're just honoring him, Till said. Demolition of the building next door to Child Protect paves the way for its new Ryan Ryder Annex expansion. Bailey said the plan for the annex is to be a multidisciplinary team facility. Child Protect works with several entities, Department of Human Resources, prosecutors, Family Sunshine Center, Family Justice Center, and many more on child abuse cases. Child Protect's role is to help law enforcement get statements from the children as well as provide free counseling for them. While the expansion means more space for the numerous departments to meet, Bailey has plans to use the extra space to grow Child Protect's child counseling services. A playground, including a basketball court, is planned for the property, and one employee, Abraham White, has floated the idea of building a kitchen to have counseling for cooking available. To Bailey, the Ryan Ryder Annex will help Child Protect expand counseling services and further serve the city. The fact that it's honoring the annex's namesake makes it that much more special. It'll be a legacy for him and what he did to fight child abuse. Thank you so much for that. I'm sorry you lost your life, but thanks for the work you did. And I appreciate the families. Wow. Sorry. I'm about at tears, the loss of life and how he saved his relative. What parents need to know about Facebook After Dark by Rosalind Giles. The Columbus Police Department's Sex Crimes Unit is sounding the alarm for parents on dangerous social media sites that could cause a world of trouble for teens and adolescents. Facebook After Dark is among the sites Lieutenant Joyce Dent Fitzpatrick said parents need to be aware of and the consequences associated the browsing of that on that webpage. The site consists of dark places in the sexual world that are very illicit and explicit sexual connotations, according to Dent Fitzpatrick. You will have children enticed to that, and adult pedophiles pose as 11-year-old, 12-year-old boy, what have you, stated Fitzpatrick. The adult lures their child into exchanging nude pictures with the intention of eventually trying to make more demands on the teen couple with threats. Then that adult says to the child, if you don't take this picture in a compromising position, I'm going to notify your parents. So now the child is being blackmailed to send more pictures, which is a crime. Now we have the task of going into a cyberspace and finding this person, and that person could be in Chicago, explained Kent Fitzpatrick. She also says the problem is becoming more prevalent in the Columbus, Phoenix City, and Fort Benning area because of the kids' access to smartphones. Other sites like Kik, Snapchat, Instagram, and 4chan all provide opportunities for inappropriate contact between adults and teens. However, there are ways to prevent your child from engaging in contact with adults online. You should use blocks if you don't want them to go on the internet or text. Go to your cell phone carrier to inquire about setting up the blocks, added Dip Fitzpatrick. Montgomery mom accused of abusing medically neglecting daughter, and this is 2015. A 23-year-old Montgomery mother was arrested over the weekend after her 1-year-old daughter, 1-year-old people, was found with multiple injuries that were left untreated, according to court documents. According to jail records, Miriam Kamichi Belzer was charged with aggravated child abuse Saturday. Belzer's daughter suffered multiple injuries, including leg fractures, skin injuries, believed to be from fingernails, a brain hemorrhage, multiple facial and neck bruises, and high mental injury over an extended period of time, according to court documents. For people that don't know what a high mental injury is, that's a sexual injury. Of course, she had been raped or whatever. This high mental, her high mental was broken. Authorities say Belzer didn't seek medical attention, treatment for her daughter until the 1-year-old suffered burns to 8% of her body. Wow. That's when doctors discovered the other injuries. Was there not other people around to help this child? Wow. The child was transferred to Children's of Alabama in Birmingham for more testing and evaluation. Little girls, you did not deserve this. Child Protect is now involved with the investigation. Executive Director Jana Bailey says the aggravated child abuse charge means the abuse was ongoing. She said this is one of the worst physical abuse cases she's ever been involved with. Child Protect will continue to investigate to determine if any of the victim's siblings were abused. Buzzer's bond was set at 30,000. See, that's a problem. They got bond. See there? They got bond. The Montgomery Police Department and Alabama Department of Human Resources are investigating the case. DHR has declined to comment, which is standard policy in cases involving children. Then it says possible signs of warning signs of child abuse. In the last week, we have unfortunately reported on at least 5 child abuse cases. Child Protect sees 500 children who are victims of abuse every year. Executive Director Jana Bailey says they are seeing more and more horrific cases. In the summer, it's weird because when kids are not in school, a lot of times things don't get reported as much. That's why she said it is important for us all to be the eyes and ears of children. As family members and as neighbors, just people that care for kids, we need to look out for them and make sure they are safe, Bailey said. There are warning signs that a child is being abused. Signs of physical abuse include unexplained bruises, welts, cigarette and rope burns. Children may be withdrawn, aggressive, or depressed, and expressing fear towards the abuser. If you are used to seeing a child playing in the front yard or out with your child, and then all of a sudden a couple of days go by, you know the people are home, but you don't see that child, take it upon yourself to knock on the door and say, "Hey, I haven't seen Susie out playing. Just wanted to check and make sure everything's okay," says Bailey. Bailey adds that other signs could be if they seem to be very clingy and they are at your house and playing, and mom and dad comes to get them or some other family member and they don't want to go. Unlike physical abuse victims, Bailey says there's often no physical evidence in a sex abuse case. Experts says if a child is sucking his thumb, wetting the bed, having nightmares, or inappropriate interest in sex, he might be a victim of sexual abuse. A lot of times with sex abuse, it's going to be the behavior of a child, Bailey said. If the child is acting out at another child sexually or says things, or you overhear it, that are inappropriate for their age. If you see any of these warning signs, Betty said speak up and alert authorities. She said you can always call Child Protect at 262 1220. Visit Child Protect for more resources. If you're a parent who's feeling stressed and fear you may harm your child, there's also help available to you. Call Alabama's Parenting Assistant Line at 1-866-962-3030. You can always find tips at PALS. I'm going to go back up here and I'm going to go more right here. There's involved. I'm going to get to here. Get home over here. Back over here. I say different ways. Okay, let's see. Then there's our services, staff, board of directors, COVID-19 careers. Or it says get involved. You spread the word. Get involved with donations and time. That's where you can get more info in here as well. Sign up for updates. Like I said, this is childprotect.org. And let me go back to here now. And it's like spread the word. How can you help spread the word? Invite us to speak. I think that's something I might need to do on my blog talk radio. Have us come educate your organization on child abuse prevention and safety. Host an event to bring awareness to child protect and child abuse. Have a luncheon, cocktail hour, or dinner. Partner with our junior executive board and sponsor a quarterly social. Connect with us. Follow our social media channels below. This is the best way to find out what we've been doing on every day at Child Protect, any upcoming events, and find information on any needs for the children we serve and wish lists. Let me go over here to Facebook right here. This is where I had get over there, please. That's where we spread the word. Back over here. I'm in this one group over here trying to find it right quick. I think it's hopefully it's right here. Okay, it's not. Sorry. It must be on my other phone. I'm sorry so much, y'all. See more right here. There we go. I think it's under that. Y'all need to remember the hand signals when you go to see that they need help. Here is the picture of the hand signals here. If y'all can see it right here. You tuck your thumb in, you trap your thumb, and then you lift it. But keep your thumb like that. It's like you're waving like that. That's distress and domestic violence hand signal. Be sure y'all know how to do that, and y'all see somebody do that. Sometimes it's best not to come up to the person, as they had said it's dangerous. Okay, here's what I was looking for. This one right here, okay? Okay, here's the facts about child abuse. Approximately 5 children die every day because of child abuse. 1 out of 3 girls and 1 out of 5 boys will be sexually abused before they reach age 18. 90% of child sexual abuse victims know the perpetrator in some way. 68% are abused by a family member. Most children become victims of abuse and neglect at 18 months or younger. In 2010, 1,537 children died of abuse or neglect. 79.4% were under the age of 4, and 47.7% were under the age of 1. Boys was 48.5%, and girls 51.2% become victims at nearly the same rate. 3.6 million cases of child abuse are reported every year in the United States. Abused and neglected children are 11 times more likely to engage in criminal behavior as an adult. About 80% of 21-year-olds who were abused as children met criteria for at least one psychological disorder. 14% of all men and 36% of all women in prison were abused as children. And the numbers could be higher because a lot of times we don't talk about it, right? Abused children are less likely to practice safe sex, putting them at greater risk for STDs. They're also 25% more likely to experience teen pregnancy. For every incident of child abuse or neglect that's reported, an estimated 2 incidents go unreported. Child abuse occurs across all social, excuse me, socioeconomic levels, ethnic and cultural lines, and religions and education levels. Neglect, the most widespread on child abuse, makes up more than 59% of child abuse cases. So, what is y'all's take on that? On what we have learned today? It shows it's more prevalent than people think it is. It shows that just when there's one case that's reported, there's a good chance there's a lot more cases that are not reported, as this was the case with mine until we became older, like in 11, when I was 11 years old. So y'all see something, say something. Please pass this information on. I want to thank y'all for coming. Lots of love. And God bless each and every one of y'all. Please stay safe. Let's not lose hope. Let's keep the faith and let's be strong. And let's be warriors on protecting our children. God bless each and every one of y'all. And thank you so much.